Everyone knows that Bluey is an almost perfect cartoon. Almost. Have you ever noticed the animation errors that exist in the series about the little blue dog? The Lookout. In the episode The Sign, when Chili and the girls meet Frisky at the city lookout, a very clear error happens. When the wide shot of Frisky sitting on the stairs is shown, we can see that there is a dog sitting on a bench, but then the shot cuts in to focus on the conversation between the friends, until the image opens up again and the dog is gone. But not only him, the bench also disappears as if by magic. That makes absolutely no sense. We could even say that the dog stood up and walked away because other background characters move while the main story is happening. But the bench disappearing is truly a serious animation error. But errors like this and many others you're going to see in today's video. That's right, another Cinewave is coming for you to enjoy. Car seat. Does Chili actually know the ages of her nieces? This error is very interesting. We're going to show you. Still in Frisky's wedding episode, when the bride runs away, there is a small error that isn't animation related but is still very strange. Chili needs to take the girls in the car to look for Frisky, but since they are very young, they need to be in special child car seats. So far so good. Chili grabs an extra seat from the trunk of the car, but this booster seat is smaller than the others. She puts Socks and Bingo in the bigger seats and leaves Muffin in the middle using the smaller seat, and that's exactly the problem. Muffin and Bingo are bigger and older than Socks. It doesn't make sense to leave the smaller special seat for Muffin when the one who should be sitting in the middle is the youngest child, which in this case is Socks. Did Chili even notice that? Confusion. There is another error in this same episode that causes a lot of confusion. At the moment when Chili is stopped by the police, the camera shows the car moving toward the left side of the screen when the shot is wider. But when the shot cuts in closer, it looks like the car is moving to the right. And sure, the camera switched sides of the street, we're not even talking about that yet. When the officer lets Chili go, the car is supposed to continue toward the right side of the screen, but the shot opens up again and she's going to the left. This is an animation error because even if the camera change sides of the street, people get confused when watching the scene, and that's why it's an error. Stove. In the episode Surprise, when the story begins, we see a wide shot of the Healer family's kitchen. Notice that the stove doesn't have any towel hanging on the oven door, but when the shot cuts in closer, a white and yellow striped towel suddenly appears hanging right there. In the wide shot, the stove also has 3 knobs that seem more spaced apart from each other, but when the shot cuts in, the knobs are closer together. Ball. Still in the episode Surprise, in the wide shot of the kitchen, we can see a yellow ball off to the side, behind Bluey, while she prepares the toy that Chuck lent her. The shot cuts in and then opens up again, and when that happens, we see that the ball has disappeared. And you could even say that since Bluey was gathering the balls, she probably picked that one up, but no. Bluey wasn't looking at that ball and would have had to stand up to grab it. Everyone knows she didn't do that in such a short amount of time. Rainbow. In the episode Double Babysitter, when the girls are playing 20 questions with Uncle Radley and Frisky, you can notice that there is a rainbow flag behind Bluey's godmother. This flag appears for several moments, but then, out of nowhere, it disappears while the characters are still playing the question game. Did a gust of wind come through and blow the flag away? It's probably just another error. Would you like to ask questions to Bingo and Bluey? Comment the hashtag Bluey so we can get to know each other. Belly. In the Bluey cartoon, Bandit is a dog who has a yellow belly, but in the episode Takeaway that changes. The story begins with them arriving at the restaurant, and if you pay attention, you'll see that Mr. Healer's belly is yellow, but when he turns around and faces his daughters, the patch disappears and turns light blue. What happened? We don't know, but stick around because this episode has more errors. Food. Still in the episode Takeaway, Bluey and Bingo make a huge mess and end up dropping the food on the ground. You can see that the container falls a bit away from the entrance table, but some birds come closer to eat the leftovers. After Bandit manages to solve the problem, the food container appears under the table, and that's a very strange error. Attendant. At the restaurant where Bandit goes to pick up food, we see that there is an attendant, and if you pay close attention to her face, you'll notice that the first time she appears, the character's fur is white with no markings at all. But a few few moments later, she appears again, and now the fur on her face has a dark spot. Was she dyeing her hair while preparing the food? Hopefully not, because that would be illegal and very gross. Color. You know that Bluey's eyebrow is light blue, right? That's not exactly a problem, but in the episode The Beach, an error happens because of this. The healers went to spend a day at the beach, and because of that, Chili and Bandit needed to apply sunscreen to their daughters' faces. Because of this, Bluey's eyebrow turned yellow, but in one scene, when we're seeing the little dog from above, that part of her face is back to its original color, as if Chili hadn't applied sunscreen there. And that was a coloring error during the animation process. It was very quick, but we noticed it. Pictures. In the episode Hotel, when the girls are preparing the reception for what would be a hotel run by Bluey, we see that there is a picture at the top of the healer family's staircase. This picture shows a tennis ball, beach sand, and the ocean. But when the shot opens up and we see Bandit going up the stairs, this picture changes position. We now see a picture of Bluey, and the beach picture with the tennis ball is lower down, making it impossible for it to have appeared in the previous scene. Pencil. In the episode Phones, when Chili's dad goes to visit his granddaughters, we have a scene that contains a very hard to notice error. Bluey is pretending to be a restaurant attendant, and next to her there is a notepad with a red pencil placed right on top of it. But when the scene changes, this pencil is behind the notepad, and then it goes back on top of the papers. You could say this isn't an error because Bluey was taking orders, but it actually is an animation error because the little dog didn't move the pencil at that moment. Subscribing is quick, easy, and keeps you updated with everything happening here. Let's go! Trees. In the episode Tradies, we discover that the trees in the Bluey universe are able to move. Doubt it? We're going to prove it right now. While the two dogs are working on the construction of the Healer family's pond, we see that behind the fence there are two trees, one with green leaves and a yellow center, and another tree with pink leaves. Notice that the two plants are a bit far apart from each other, but a few scenes later, we see that the green tree has moved, and now it looks like it's pressed right up against the other plant. What could have happened? Were the two of them also spying on the workers in the backyard? That would be strange, but very funny. Arm. In the episode Pass the Parcel, we have a very strange error involving Jasper's mom. When Lucky's dad is explaining the new rules of the game, I mean the old rules, the parents of the kids are shocked that he changed the style of the game. If you look at Jasper's mom at the parents' table, you'll see that her hand comes out of place and separates from the rest of her arm. It's very weird, and there's no way to say that isn't an error. Dates. Still in the episode with the Pass the Parcel game, we have an error that very few people noticed. The birthday dates of two little dogs are completely wrong. In the story of the episode, we see some dogs having birthdays, including Jasper and Duddy, and the birthdays of both of them are wrong. We know this because the episode makes it clear that Jasper was born first, but when his birthday date appears, it says he was born on December 14th, but when it switches to Buddy's birthday, the date on the invitation says that Bingo's friend's birthday is on November 12th. That makes absolutely no sense. Buddy's party happened after Jasper's birthday, so how could he have had his birthday in November if Jasper was born in December? That wouldn't make sense even if a full year had passed starting from Buddy's 5th birthday, because both parties were for 5-year-olds and both dogs are classmates of Bingo, meaning they are the same age. It was a big error that very few people noticed. Disney Plus T3E P13 Taisha 411's Faucet. In the episode Smoochy Kiss, when Bluey takes Bandit to hide in the laundry room, the first scene in this part of the house shows a faucet with hot and cold temperature indicators, but the hot faucet is on the left side, while the cold one is on the right. So far, no problem, but when Mr. Healer comes out of the bathroom, the colors that indicate the water temperature switch positions. That makes absolutely no sense. Snout. An error that many people know about in Bluey happens in the episode Feather Wand, when Bingo grabs Bandit's yoga ball and throws it down the stairs toward Bluey and Chili. At that moment, for less than a second, the animation messes up and Bingo's snout detaches from her face. It's so strange that it looks like the little dog's mouth is about to fall onto the floor. Socks. And finally, but no less funny, there's Socks' error in the episode Barbecue, when we see Bingo making a mess in the backyard and everyone running to see what happened. At that moment, Bluey and her cousins Muffin and Socks start running, and when that happens, we can see that Socks' eyes disappear, while her snout looks like it's on the back of her head. This error is already well known by many fans of the show, but it's so funny that the creators of Bluey probably didn't even think about fixing it because of how much it makes fans laugh. And we have so much fun with Bluey, don't we? That's why we're going to keep talking a lot about this series on the channel. Before you go, take a look at the two videos on the screen. Thanks for watching, and see you next time!